Willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe von CoreTv. Ein neues Jahr steht vor der Tür und wir wollen euch zuallererst danken für das alte Jahr. Nämlich ihr habt uns eine Menge Feedback gegeben und das motiviert uns natürlich sehr weiterzumachen. Und ja, bleibt uns einfach treu, wir freuen uns drüber und wir starten so richtig durch, nämlich mit einer richtig coolen Sendung wieder. Jetzt für euch gleich Anti-Flag. Wir haben das neue Album auf die Praxistauglichkeit getestet. Wir sind nämlich nach Hamburg gefahren und haben uns das Konzert angeguckt, haben ein paar Bilder für euch gemacht, haben sie in unseren Bulli gelockt und ja, macht euch jetzt selber ein Bild von Anti-Flag.
My name is Chris number 2. I play bass and sing in the band Anti-Flag.
Just a man like me when I killed you. Forgive me, comrade. Say that for me. Say you forgive me.
Just okay. Talking up a day, talking up a night, talking till the face turns blue. What have you? Tuesdays at night, coming through the day, find out what you see in us still. Never want to talk about it. Want to go walk around it with a flag in mind and see salute. Whoa, whoa. Never want to talk about it. Want to go walk around it with a flag in carry me salute. And on my TV screen, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking every day was a WMD that I was right. Living on the budget of the CIA. What else is the thing you say? We don't want to talk about it. What else is it ever I think you got a ball? But I'm not the one in the White House song. Whenever I'm touching it, every color lies. So when I tell you, you got to check it out. Talking up a day, talking up a night, talking till the face turns blue. Tuesdays at night, coming to the day, better put your skin on skill. Are you ready? Don't want to talk about it. Want to go walk around it with a flag in mind, just leave salute. Whoa, whoa. They don't want to talk about it. Want to go walk around it with a flag in carry salute. Oh, no. Hamburg! How the fuck are you guys doing? Brothers and sisters, let's see some unity. Raise your hands up high. Come on. Together we sing. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to talk about it. Oh yeah, it was good for Anti-Flag. I mean, we were able to have labels in other countries of the world that we had never had. We were able to use the Sony money to
start nonprofit organizations in America. We were able to use the Sony distribution channels to put Anti-Flag records in stores that had never carried Anti-Flag albums before. And it legitimized us in the eye of some not so normal music press. You know, places like Rolling Stone were writing about Anti-Flag, and it put us in a different place, in a different position than we would have been on our own. You know, the major label system is a bit archaic. They're not changing with the times. They're not working to stay ahead of the new way that people are receiving their information and receiving music. So we were lucky that our album contract was only for 2 albums, and at the end of it we were free to go and do our own thing. You know, a major label still thinks that you have to spend all this money making an album, that you have to go to a fancy studio, and you know, sometimes you know, thankfully we were able to have in our contract that we were in control of those decisions, but for them to you know, write the check for you to go into the studio, sometimes you had to do some convincing. And we're thankful that that part of the business is behind us, that we just go and do our own thing. You know, so that was one of the impetuses for us building our own studio in Pittsburgh and recording The People Are the Gun, our new album that's out on side 1, recording that in Pittsburgh ourselves, no engineer, no producer, just Anti-Flag. I think that being on a major for the last 2 records and having to deal with them thinking that you need a big name producer and thinking that you need these things just because that's what they've always done, you know, you know, getting away from that, being free from that was liberating, and I think that that's why the record sounds the way it sounds, why the new album sounds the way it sounds. I don't think so. I think that we're touring more than ever. We're having better shows than ever. It's crazy that Anti-Flag seems to be more impactful today than it was 10 years ago when I joined the band. So it's definitely interesting to see. You know, tonight we're going to have our biggest show ever in Hamburg. You know, and it's like, we're so thankful that people still care and people still come out, you know. I do think that we've been working very hard. I foresee Anti-Flag taking a break in the future here a little bit, but I don't think that's neither here nor there. I just think we need some time to rest and some time to stay away from some of the cities of the world. But honestly, it's always shocking to us anytime we play and people are there. You know, we don't believe that anything is guaranteed. We don't believe that anything is easy. We try to remind ourselves that we're very, very lucky to do what we do. I feel like there's been a lot of missed opportunity for change, especially with the election of Barack Obama and especially in America. I feel like when Barack Obama came in, he had so much support from the international community. He had so much support in America that he could have easily come in and shut down Guantanamo Bay, ended the war in Iraq, and put a real viable healthcare plan on the table. He signed a declaration to close Guantanamo Bay. It's still open today. He talked about ending the war in Iraq, and now they're talking about more troops in Afghanistan. He has presented a healthcare plan, but the newest healthcare plan, the only way they could get it brought up, because it's now taken so long, is to pull back women's rights and say that healthcare providers won't cover abortion. So I think that there's been a lot of missed opportunity, and the economic crisis is certainly a place where I feel like we've missed opportunity. I feel like there is no doubt in my mind that a system that is based on exploitation, such as the capitalist system that we live in, a system where people are okay with using slave labor and using unfair trade practices to get their goods at a cheaper cost, just because it saves them maybe 10 cents here or maybe $1 here. Their ability to turn a blind eye at these atrocities of humanity, that system cannot sustain itself. And that's what we saw. We saw poor people exploited to the point where they couldn't be exploited any further. And so the whole entire thing collapsed. Unfortunately, you know, bailouts to bankers and bailouts to Wall Street CEOs is not what has cured it. What has cured it is just, you know, them introducing more money and them telling us that it's over. You know, I think that we still see unemployment rates at all-time highs. We still see more people living on the street, and in America, more people living on the street without health care than ever. And that's got to change. We've got to shift our focus away from ourselves making money to ourselves building up our communities.
Take care! Hang on! Open up that fucking circle pit, Hamburg! Are you ready? Let's go! Nailed to the cross, time to connect to sin. Just like why, who, and when. Build our Bibles to only occur. Things that we believe don't find the truth. This is our right. This is our life. Sodom, the mother, Washington DC, trying into big here and got nothing to say. Secret shepherds down there. Yahweh, Jesus and Muhammad, their words are way more in common. And the Midwest from the Middle East, not to preach, it's a tragedy, it's a strategy. Play our contrast, knowledge of fact, for comprehension. Contrast, the mother, nothing to be seen. Fighting into big here, and nothing to say. Secret shepherds down there. Secret shepherds down there. Scrap shot, I was me, not as Christian, I said, I tried, dead bone, not to solve the capitalist, endless war, and burn, let's go! Brothers and sisters, let's join hands together for mind the tyrant. Another Washington DC, fighting into oblivion, got nothing to say. Secret shepherds down there. Secret shepherds down there. Secret shepherds down there. The legend, that's the opiate.
It's tough. It's tough to say because I felt like the protest movement had garnered so much excitement and so much energy during those Bush eras, and it was almost like you could say that George Bush was very good for the left. He may have been terrible for the world, but he lit a fire under some people's asses that have been sleeping for a while. It's tough to say. This is all I know. I feel like real revolutions, real changes, real shifts of the paradigm have always happened from the people. They've not come from the stroke of a politician's pen. They've not come from George Bush or Barack Obama or John F. Kennedy or Merkel or Berlusconi in Italy. Where these changes have always come from the people. I feel like more than ever, people are paying attention to things like climate change. People are paying attention to things like war and peace. People are paying attention to health care for all citizens of the world. People are paying attention to gay rights, to racial rights. The social conscience of the world has grown. However, the right wing's ability to dull that social conscience and present the easy solution of not caring has gotten better. I believe that the next real revolution that we'll see will come from the workers. I believe when people stand up from building plastic toys and printing and manufacturing clothing that is useless and manufacturing other goods that are just being sold to sell goods, I believe when those people stand up from their chairs and say, you know what, we demand a living wage. Whenever the Chinese workers, whenever the Taiwanese workers, whenever these people that are being exploited for their hard work realize the exploitation and stand up, then the call is on the German people. Then the call is on the American people to get their backs and demand that people be treated fairly and treated humanely. That to me, I think, is the next time that we're going to really see things start to shift in a real way. It's always crazy to me, you know. We had an election in America in the year 2000 where George Bush won by 600 votes in Florida, and nobody is really sure. The evidence at this point has showing that he had stolen that election, that there was intimidation factors by the right wing to keep people away from voting for a Democrat in that state. This changed and altered our history by putting George Bush in power. We're now in multiple wars. We're now, in the worst place in history that many of us have been in our lives. In Kenya, there was an election where people said, we don't believe that election was fair. And they pulled out machetes and they ransacked the entire town and demanded that they redo the election. In America, we talked about it for, 6 months. It's always amazing to me, the complacency of people, but look at what we have. We're very comfortable in our lives. This comfort has led us to maybe care a little bit less. However, I do believe that we are at an all-time high with people understanding and knowing what's going on in the world. I just think that it's going to take something very big to mobilize everyone to get behind.
Yeah, I think so. And it will take some time.
Yeah, and again, that's the other thing. It's like people want it now, and you've got to realize that racism in America did not end. It's a battle still being fought. Them desegregating schools in America was something that was talked about for years, 20, 30 years, and it was a long, arduous battle. It didn't happen overnight, and I think that's something that we all need to look back on. We need to look back at the real revolutions in history and realize they were not instantaneous. They were long, hard-fought battles and processes, and I think we're at the forefront of some of those with the workers' rights, with gay rights, with obviously this war in Iraq.
Oh, Hamburg! My brothers and sisters, beautiful people of Hamburg, how are you doing tonight, everybody? Fucking right. It's been way too long, my friends. It's fantastic to be here. It's fantastic to see your smiling faces. We are Anti-Flag from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Friends, please take good care of one another, respect one another. And while you're doing so, let's have a good fucking time, okay?
Alright! Let's get this shit started right now! Hamburg! Everyone up top! All you crazy motherfuckers down here! Raise your fists in the air! Together we sing! Turncoat! Killer! Liar! Say!
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4!
Turncoat! Killer! Liar! Say! Fuck you! Circle! Killer! Liar! Death! Say it! Circle!
Hello, this is Chris number 2 from Anti-Flag. You're watching CoreTv. Come get rad with us. Peace.
Wir sind wieder am Ende von CoreTv. Wir hoffen, es hat euch gefallen. Uns hat es eine Menge Spaß gemacht und wir freuen uns auf ein gemeinsames, cooles, neues, musikalisches Jahr. Und ja, es gibt da auch dann ein paar neue Änderungen bei uns. Die allerdings darf ich nicht verraten. Das hat meine Rechtsabteilung verboten, nämlich Helmut. Auf jeden Fall, ihr könnt gespannt sein und ich sage auf Wiedersehen. Schönen Abend noch. Bis dann.